Hello guys and welcome to our channel Crime Shadows. Join us as we take a look at how events unfolded in various crimes around the world. Our focus is on the details, evidence, theories, victims, investigations and mystery found in these crimes. If you wish to see more of our videos, please remember to subscribe, ring the notification bell and give this video a like. I am your host, Joan. Residents of Karura area in Kiamba County, together with the public at large, were shocked beyond belief when badly mutilated bodies of 4 family members and 1 non-relative were found in the same compound. It was later known that the eldest son of that family was behind all the killings. The victims were his cousin, his father Nicholas Warunge, his mom Anne Wanjiku, his brother Christian Dungu, and a farmhand, that is James Kinyanjui. Lawrence Simon Warunge was born to the parentage of Nicholas Njenga Warunge and Anne Wanjiku. He had 3 siblings, that is 2 sisters and 1 brother. The parents had also adopted a cousin who was like a son to them. Lawrence felt neglected, oppressed, and misunderstood by his parents. He had a lot of resentment and anger towards them for treating him indifferently. He felt that his siblings were favored over him. He had been planning how to eliminate all of his nuclear family members for 3 months. He had the weapons needed and had the best timing to ensure that the family members were all together and nothing was suspicious. The premeditated crime was inspired by a British TV series by the name Killing Eve, starring Sandra Oh as Eve, who is an intelligent field operative with the duty of bringing the sociopathic assassin Villanelle, who is a talented killer. The other inspiration to Lawrence was the 2 novels he had read titled 8 Perfect Murders and The Eve of the Murder. On that fateful day of January 5th, 2021, Lawrence had asked his girlfriend to go and bring him 2 knives. He didn't explain why he needed them. In the meantime, his 2 sisters were preparing to leave for school. They were both in boarding school and many schools were opening for the first term of the new year. The girlfriend delayed in bringing the knives because when she did, the 2 sisters had already left for school. Lawrence was very pissed because his sisters were part of his victims to be. A few minutes past 8 p.m. of that same day, Lawrence began to execute his plan. The first victim was the farmhand who lived in a house few meters away from the main house. He entered his house, smacked him on the head with a metal bar he had bought earlier on. He went ahead and slit his throat open as the farmhand was unconscious. He then left for the main house using the back door of the kitchen, where he found his mom, Anne Wanjiku, going about her own business in the kitchen. He smacked her on the head with the same metal bar and stabbed her 17 times, slit her throat. The commotion in the kitchen caught the attention of his cousin Maxwell Njenga, who was 13 years old. He came to check out what was happening when he was met with his attacker in the corridor. He was attacked in the same way as the first and second victims. His 4th victim was none other than his younger brother, Christian Dungu, who was hiding under the bed in his room. He had just turned 13 on December 26, 2020. Lauren dragged him out of the bed. The terrified boy knelt down and begged for mercy from his elder brother, but the pleas fell on deaf ears. He was also stabbed and had his throat slit open. He was now on to his last victim, the dad, who was in the master bedroom upstairs when all the attacks were taking place. The father had rushed to the balcony upon sensing danger. He was hit by an electric cable as he was escaping to save himself. The father jumped down only for his leg to be fractured. This gave Lawrence time to catch up with him. Lawrence was quoted saying, "I killed him like a snake." He stabbed him 34 times before slitting his throat. After committing these unthinkable crimes, he went to the master bedroom and slept before escaping at dawn. He took a motorcycle to get him out of his homestead to the nearby shopping center. It was now a new day. The neighbors noticed an unusual silence and lack of activity in Mr. Nicholas Waruinge's compound. They decided to move closer and were greatly worried upon seeing bloodstains and signs of struggle around the house. They contacted the police, who came to do the investigations. The officers and the community were shocked after the 5 bodies were discovered. They were all brutally mutilated. The house was declared a crime scene. Neighbors were interviewed and evidence gathered from the crime scene was also taken. No murder weapon was found there. None of the neighbors had any alarms raised, not even the brother to Nicholas, Mr. Njire, who lived less than 200 meters apart. This bad news spread fast, drawing a lot of media attention for both the mainstream and social media platforms. At first, Lawrence was thought to be at school. He was an information and technology student at Mount Kenya University. Upon the police realizing that he wasn't at school, he was identified as the main suspect because of his unclear disappearance. Back to that morning when Lawrence left his home, he arrived at Wangige and took a vehicle to his next destination, which was Mai Mahiu, about 43 kilometers from his home. His girlfriend lived in Mai Mahiu. The police tracked the movements of Lawrence, and upon reaching Mai Mahiu, a room rented by Lawrence and the girlfriend was declared a crime scene. The caretaker, Anthony Mtuku, told the police that the two had rented the house for 2 weeks, promising to move out by January 17th, which they did. The girlfriend's home is within the same area. She had told Anthony that her mom's house wasn't big enough to host all of them. That is why they needed to rent. Nothing was suspicious, so he rented out the room. The girl used to stay with the mom before relocating to Thika Town, where she had a business. The caretaker said he never met Lawrence during the 2 weeks. The rented house had no household items. The only thing present was a mattress on the floor. The detectives believed it was hired for a reason, and the couple had no plans to stay there for long. His mobile phone signal was traced to Mai Mahiu, Naivasha, Thika, then to Kabete area. As the police continued with their manhunt, they finally arrested Lawrence, who was hiding in Kabete, Kiambu County. This was on January 9th, 2021, Friday, 4 days later after the horrible crime was committed. He confessed to committing the crimes after interrogations by police. His confession on how he committed the crime went hand in hand with autopsy reports after the postmortems were done on the victims. As per the government pathologist Johannessen Odwor, Lawrence seemed to be more bitter with the father and his kid brother, as they had more brutal wounds. The mom had a broken arm on top of the injuries. Sarah, who was the girlfriend, was also arrested as an accomplice in the murders. However, she was later on treated as a state witness in that case. After his confession, he led the police on Saturday, 10th January, to where he had tried to get rid of the evidence against him. Upon arriving in Mai Mahiu on 5th January 2021, where they had rented a house with his girlfriend, Lawrence walked to an open field at around 11 p.m. where he burnt some of the evidence, including a mobile phone belonging to his dad and another one that belonged to the farmhand. Debris were collected from the site for analysis. Part of the evidence had been thrown in a pit latrine. Ropes were used to recover the evidence from the 20-feet deep pit latrine. After a hole was dug on the side of the latrine, they recovered the killer weapon, the kitchen knife, clothes, shoe, and a piece of paper. The police thought that at least 5 people were involved in the crime, but Lawrence insisted he committed the crime alone. He added to say that his parents were evil and satanic and they deserved to die. Lawrence, together with the girlfriend, underwent mental assessments and findings were that they were unfit for trial on January 26th. The second psychiatric test released by Mathare Mental Hospital confirmed that Lawrence was fit to stand trial. He pleaded not guilty to all the 5 crimes. Still, he was to undergo more mental tests after 30 days. His arrest brought some relief to the community, though many were left wondering about the underlying causes for his actions and the red flags that nobody suspected. He was charged with 5 counts of murder. They were filed under Kenya's Penal Code based on the severity and the fact that they were premeditated. Those who were deceased were laid to rest in their home as Lawrence later on changed his plea to not guilty and wanted to be out on bail, but his family were against it as they said he still had intentions to finish off his remaining siblings, that is, the 2 sisters who were at school when he committed the crimes on the 4 people who were family members and 1 farmhand. This is still an ongoing case as of January 2025, with the prosecution team presenting their case with evidence and witness testimonies, while defense team presenting theirs, claiming the accused is not mentally okay and has potential insanity. Lawrence is still in custody. Keep on tuned and remember to subscribe and ring the notification bell for more updates on this case. Thank you for watching.